What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Rambling Garage. This week I have the week off. We're going to do a whole bunch of car related stuff, and we're going to be releasing videos over the next few weeks. What we're working on with the GTA, the Rambler, the Sierra C15, and probably the WS6 a little bit, maybe the Ram. I don't know. We have all sorts of stuff to do. All sorts of parts are in. Today we're going to start with the GTA. I just took this car on about a 200-ish round trip, 200-ish mile round trip, and it did really well. It drives really nice. It's a fun cruiser. Everyone loves it. You get a decent bit of looks and stuff like that. But one thing that it did start doing is it started clunking into gear as it would downshift once it got warm. I'm pretty sure it's got original fluids in it, so today we're going to pop that trans pan off. We're going to drain all the fluid out of it. We're going to put a new trans pan on it with the drain plug and then a new filter as well. We're also going to do the rear end fluid while we're there. Debating if I'm going to take that cover off or if I'm just going to suck fluid out of it. It is 33, 34 years old now, so I should probably just take the cover off it. It'll depend if I have a store in town here that has the cover gasket. So I'm going to back this thing up. I'm going to get it on stands. We're going to get under it and we'll start draining fluids, and then we'll go run some errands and get the stuff that we need. I have the pan out in storage, and if I can get a gasket for the rear end cover, I will go do that. So let's do it. And just like that, we're up in the air. I use these things, I think people call them Craig jigs. They're just 2x4s and some 2x2s on the ends there to kind of capture the wheel. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 at 1.5 inches a piece. So we got 6 inches there off the ground, which doesn't sound like much, but then when we look under here, got all sorts of space to lay under there. So we're gonna go grab a pan. I have one that's not full in the back of that truck, and we're gonna put it under there, and I should probably take my waste soil to the dump at some point too, so we'll see. But we're gonna start with that. We'll start draining this, and then we'll go run some errands as it's draining and go from there. guys, so I'm gonna let that drip for a bit. Actually looks like it's slowed up already. I'm gonna pry that pan down a little bit, but fluid looks good, but doesn't smell the greatest. It doesn't smell awful, but it has a little burnt smell to it. So I don't know if I don't know. I'm not gonna make assumptions. We're just gonna toss in some new fluid. I have some Dexmerk, which I believe is the correct stuff. I'll confirm. But so we're just gonna get the rest out of that pan, and we'll let it sit for a little bit and drain. And once I get back, we'll put the new pan in and top it off. Alrighty, just got back from storage. Got our new pan. This one does have a drain plug on the bottom there, which will be nice for upcoming just drop filter and replace. Also have a brand new, it is an AC Delco filter. That's the part number for it. This one's a little different than the one that comes out, I believe. But we're just gonna lube up that O-ring there and put it in. You should hear it kind of click into place or feel it click into place. So we're gonna do that quick and RTV this onto the pan so it stays in place. The surface in the car is very clean, but we'll just give it a wipe down with some brake cleaner and we'll put that in there. It does come with new hardware. These look to be stainless, hex-headed. I don't know if I love those, but we're gonna put them in for now. Can always swap them out one by one in the future. So we'll start with that. New filter is in. It's hard to show you guys without putting my hand in there, but look how close the filter is to the bottom of the transmission. That gives you an idea of how far you have to push it in. It does take a little effort. So that's in. The surface, the mating surface for the gasket on here looks fantastic. Everything in here looks pretty good. Wish you guys could smell right now. It doesn't smell the best, but it doesn't smell like burnt. It just smells like it got warm. So definitely due for some new fluid. We'll get this new pan on there and top her off, turn her on, and see how much fluid we need to put in this thing. Got our new pan in there. Drain pan looks good. I do like this being black better than the silver, because the silver just gets so dirty, whereas the black will kind of hide it a little more. I guess it'll still get dirty, but I ended up going with the old hardware. The new stuff, I don't know if the thread pitch was correct, and I just like the look of that stuff better. I didn't like the shiny under there and not being original. So we're gonna put in, we got a few more bolts over there for the other side. We'll put those in. We'll let that, I used some RTV to hold the gasket in place. We'll let that seal up for a couple of minutes and then we'll torque this all to spec. Trans fan is back on. We're just gonna let the car warm up so I can check the ATF fluid. I did put a couple quarts in there. That thing wasn't totally full, but put some in there. Under there. I did torque to 15 foot-pounds, and I did as well of a star pattern as I could. So I'm just going to let this heat up, and then we'll check it with the dipstick. I'm guessing I have some fluid to add. I didn't add a ton, but I don't want to overflow it either. So I got enough in there to not burn up the pump, and we'll go from there. Alright, that's done. We put ended up needing one more quart, and I think there's about 4 in there. So put about 4.5, 5 quarts in there, and good to go. So we're going to work on the diff next. It is super hot out right now, so I'm going to take a break and probably come out again tomorrow. I did put some cardboard under here. I just want to make sure it's not leaking, so I can let it sit, and I'll come back and check the cardboard here in about a half an hour. Make sure it's not leaking. Everything under there looks good. Car got up to temp pretty good. Got a little warmer than I'd expect. I think I have an air pocket in there somewhere, so I might bleed the cooling system again here soon. But next thing we're going to do is head to the back and change that diff fluid. Got the cover off, just been cleaning up under here. I think everything looks pretty good. Got some staining to the touch. This all feels pretty clean. I'll try to clean it up a little bit more. Gears all look good, everything looks good in there, so I'll keep doing that. While I'm under here, I'm gonna be cleaning up some of this stuff, just giving it a good scrub, and trying to keep things clean under here. So I'm gonna clean that up, we'll get that cover put back on. I gotta go get a gasket, I bought the wrong one, and we're gonna go from there. A little progress, just some stuff like this is stuff that you're not gonna see just with underbody washes and stuff. So getting up in these nooks and crannies and just really trying to clean it as best as you can. You're never going to get it perfect, especially if you drive the car. Some of these spots up in here and right around the rear end and everything. Just trying to get things clean. So I'm going to work my way up towards the front of the car. We'll keep working our way up there, and we'll just get it as good as we can. Well, it ain't perfect, but I made some progress. Looks a lot better under here, just for no one to ever see it, but I'm pretty happy with it. I have a before picture I'll put up of the kind of rockers here, but they're pretty good. Looks good. Took me about a half an hour just scrubbing down here. It's not really a bad job. I got some to do up front yet, but we're in a better spot. So I'm gonna go get the right gasket for that rear end, and we'll put it back in and top it off with fluids and wrap this video up. Alrighty guys, so we got everything in here. I ended up using RTV instead of a gasket. I couldn't find a gasket locally, but that should be alright. RTV has been sitting out here for about 4 hours, so we're just going to tighten these down all to about 20 foot-pounds. And then tomorrow we're going to come back in, add some fluid, and we should be able to call it good. So I'm just going to tighten these down a touch before I come back with a torque wrench. Actually use a torque wrench these days, and we'll finish it off. And just like that, we're all torqued up. Just cleaned up some of the excess RTV. It was still a little wet. So we'll see how it is in the morning. But looking good, looking pretty clean, and we'll get some fluid put in there soon. Alrighty guys, so we're going to be tossing in about 2 quarts of this AMSOIL Severe Gear 75W90, and I'm going to do 1 tube with this slip lock. I don't 100% need the slip lock because the Severe Gear is supposed to limit chattering, but we're putting it in anyways. I don't think it'll be a problem. So There we go. I'm going to use a little transfer pump from Harbor Freight. I think that's going to make things super easy, and we'll be done here. I'm going to put 1 quart in, and I'm going to make sure everything doesn't leak, and if all is good, we'll put the rest in. Should take about 2 quarts. Alright, I'm just going to use some of this slip lock. Hopefully I don't have to cut the tip off, and I do. Great. Had it just out of the frame, but you can tell in your full when it just starts to leak out a little bit. So hard to get a perfect amount in there with this pump, but you can see it's dripping out. So I'll put the plug in it and we should be good to go. Got the plug back in, everything looks dry, minus some residuals from dripping out. Looks good. So we're gonna get this thing back on the ground. We're gonna take it to a parking lot down the road. We're gonna do some figure 8s wearing that limited slip friction enhancer, and then we're gonna call this thing done, and we're gonna go work on the truck over there, which I'm excited to do. That'll be a completely different video. Let's get this thing on the ground. Let's go for a ride. Alrighty, let's see if the car's happy. I did bleed the brakes before this video. I did oil change a few months ago, so didn't address those for that reason. Let's see how she does. Gear, that's always a good thing. I'm gonna run down to a church parking lot. We'll do some figure 8s and make sure this thing is all good to go. Let's see how she goes through the gears. May just be wanting to feel good about myself, but I felt a little smoother maybe going into gear, shifting a couple of times. Just doing a couple little twists and turns. There are a couple people here, so I don't want to be in the way. It's my second parking lot. There's a cop at the other one. There's a lot of focus. After this one, I should be good. Alrighty, let's get out of here. Stop quickly like I did before, see if it clunks. Nothing. I did have a little whining maybe from the rear end, but we'll let some fluids work in, and could have been my brakes, so it's hard to tell. But I think we're good. We're gonna head back home. Alright guys, so that's gonna wrap up our video on the GTA. We got fresh trans fluid, fresh diff fluid. Just went and worked some of that anti-slip additive in, and seems to be doing good. So I'm happy with that car right now. I got some like rattling things that I want to take care of in the interior, but that's all kind of minor stuff. Just something you get with third gen. So we're gonna call this video done, and I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. We're gonna just migrate right over right now to the C15 square body. So that's what we're gonna be working on. We'll do a video on it, and we're gonna do some fun stuff on it. I'm pretty excited. So see you then.